That is what I wanted to share about japa. And now we move to meditation, to contemplation, as was studied yesterday. Just as a recap, let us read Shloka 4, because some of us may not know what's going on right now. Together. Kaya Vangmana, Kaya Muttamam, Pujanam Japat, Chintanam Kraman. So here, we've talked about puja, we've talked about japa, now we talk about chintana, also known as contemplation, also known as meditation. Why meditation is called superior, why it's called the highest, is that this is the most demanding of these sadhanas, because the body has been cut out, the speech has been cut out. All that we're operating with is the mind. So it's the most demanding, and so the most purifying. Please remember that all of these sadhanas are purifying. We have to know ourselves and know what sadhana we need. For someone who's very agitated, how can they meditate? It's not possible. We should know where we are, and we should purify ourselves to finally be ready for meditation. It doesn't happen like that. People so often tell me, teach me meditation, teach me meditation. And so I respond to them and say, okay, start doing seva. Calm yourself down first, and then meditate. Right? If one's hyperactive, then meditation is not going to happen. So we have to purify ourselves first. Especially because when we sit down for meditation, this is what happens. A, we sleep. B, we get distracted. C, we get tired. We lack purity, we lack concentration, and we lack subtlety of thought. Like I said, we know the idea, but we just can't understand it. There's a barrier there. We lack subtlety of thought. Like, imagine us being awareness. We know we have awareness, but imagine being awareness. We need a much more subtle mind to appreciate that idea. Which is why these sadhanas help us get shuddhata. They make the mind pure. Ekagrata. They make the mind concentrated. And sukshmata. They make the mind subtle. So the purity of mind to actually want to know more. The concentration to not get distracted. And that ekagrata, that's ekagrata. And then the sukshmata, to understand these ideas. To a gross-minded person saying that we're beyond the body, that's not possible for them to understand. There's a certain type of school of thought called the Charvakas. And all they believe is anything that you can feel, taste, touch, smell, see, that's all that there is that is real. Nothing else is real. So to them, UV rays are not real. Anything that you can experience directly is not real. They lack that subtlety of thought to appreciate that, hey, we may have an ego or an intellect, or that there may be more than meets the eye. Q Transformers and Optimus Prime. So we need this shuddhata, we need this ekagrata, we need this sukshmata to be able to appreciate Bhakti Yoga and these ideas. Like I said, Bhakti Yoga in essence is to see the Lord in everyone else, and everyone else includes ourselves. We see the Lord in our friends, our family, our neighbors, and in ourselves. The difference between a saint and a sinner is that the saint treats that sinner just as well as the next person. We all respect saints. We all treat those people who treat us good, very good. But what about the person who badmouths us? What about the person who hurts us? How do we treat them? We don't see the divinity in them. We only see the divinity where it's convenient, and if it's not convenient, we don't see it. And that's what a saint, the greatness of a saint, is see the divinity in everyone, in everything. That's the vision that we need to develop. And this leads us to our next shloka, and it reminds me of my favorite quote from Mahatma Gandhi, and that is, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Again, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. We will reach Shloka 5 on page 18 for me, maybe 16 or 17 for yourself. I'll chant, you can repeat. Jagata Ishati Yukta Sevanam. Jagata Ishati Yukta Sevanam. Ashtamurti Prid Deva Pujanam. Ashtamurti Prid Deva Pujanam. Together. Jagata Ishati Yukta Sevanam. Ashtamurti Prid Deva Pujanam. Ravana Maharshi says here is that by serving the Jagat, the universe, with the attitude that one is serving the Lord, through this, it's as if one is actually worshipping the Lord in various ways. So just by developing the attitude that I'm serving the Lord through the universe, one is actually serving the Lord in various ways. Specifically, 8 ways, which I'll elaborate on. We've heard this word seva a million times. Every time you receive an email from me, it says life seva. We've heard this word service, seva, seva bhava, seva sentiment, countless times. But what is it? What is seva? What is the essence or significance of seva? Simply put, the essence or practice of seva is to focus on the needs of others. Focusing on the needs of others is seva. And that's why I'm always reminded again of Pujaguru Dev, Pujaguruji, and all the other great acharyas, that they've sacrificed, and I use sacrifice in a very loose term, loose way, their families, their careers, their achievements to help other people with their families, their careers, and their achievements. Right? Isn't that what Puja Guruji does? Isn't that what Swamiji does? Helps us with our families, helps us with our careers, helps us with our achievements. In other words, you're focusing on the needs of others. And the beauty of this, everything is beautiful. So I'm going to say it every time. So anyways, the beauty of this is that by focusing on the needs of others, what happens is that our needs come down. If I keep helping you, I need less than. Why? Because what do I start invoking? Happiness. When the heart is full, the stomach is full. When we're happy, we're not hungry. When a child is playing, that mother forces that child to come in and eat. It doesn't want to eat. It doesn't want to sleep. The child doesn't need rest. The child doesn't need to be clothed or bathed. It just wants to play. I'll tell you a sad observation in regards to this. In a couple of classes that I teach, we have some pediatricians that come. And they recently had a big convention in Toronto. And I was asking them, tell me what you discussed. I'm fascinated by pediatricians. They've dedicated their lives to children, to its. And so they were telling me is that the purpose of the convention was that now 1/3 of Canadian children are obese. So 1/3 of Canadian children, it's not that they're overweight, they are obese. And I'm sure it's worse in America. Someone told me that the percentage here was 50%.
In Illinois, it's 65%.
65. Wonderful. I'm glad that you're also proud to be from Illinois, right? Why are these children obese? So now they're offering solutions. And someone said yoga and meditation should be introduced to the school system. For countless years they've been trying to remove junk food. Coke, Twinkies, cupcakes, stuff like that. And in most schools that's not available. For countless years they've been encouraging fitness tests. Mandatory phys ed, Canada fitness test, American fitness test. Why is it that obesity is still present? So now what they're discovering is that children are unhappy. And in their sadness, they turn to the hamburger. And they eat it, and they get 2 minutes of satisfaction, and when they're done, then they go to 7-Eleven and buy a slushie. And after that, when they're done there, they go to the next corner store and get a Twinkie. And on and on and on. Eat, short-term joy, eat again. Short-term joy, eat again. That's why this obesity is happening. So when that person had raised yoga and meditation, I was like, wow, finally, we're realizing what our rishis have been saying for millennia after millennia. That lack of happiness in their lives.